Most traders try to do as much as they can when the market is open. But here's a little secret, right? That's not the difference maker. Professional traders are determined based on the work that they do when nobody's watching. The trade reviews that are conducted and done after the market is closed. So today's video, I'm going to show you how to conduct a trade review properly so you know that your trading plan has that statistical edge that can actually work. So today's video, we're going to go over how to conduct a trade review properly, how to review your trades properly, and how to create a statistical probability edge-based trading system. Stay tuned. How to conduct a proper trade review. Let's dive straight into it. There's two crucial questions we need to ask ourselves first, right? And you got to check to see if your past trades are an accurate reflection of what you intended to do as per your trading plan. Number two, is your trading plan actually effective? Now note, you cannot answer the second question without first answering that first question. And none of this can happen and no improvement can be made if you do not even have a detailed written trading plan upon which every single trade you take is based, right? So before I dive into that, I want to touch upon that a little bit. As traders, we have that bias that everything we do is great, right? And if you are already doing more than this, like you have your spreadsheet, you have your journals, that's okay. But if you're not doing any of these things, you're not tracking your trades and you just simply glance at them, that is not okay, right? Glancing at your trades when they're done with it is not okay. Just looking at your trades at the end of the day is not okay. You have to conduct a proper trade review, right? So as traders, we think everything we do is great. A 9:30 market opens and I call it the monkey brain. The monkey takes over and you're just trying to do all these things. And at the end of the day, the monkey's always going to say, hey, everything is great. That is why we need to conduct a trade review with a clear mind after we're out of that trade. Usually I like to do it within an hour of the market close, right? Do it then with a fresh mind so you can actually look at it objectively and review your trade. So first question you need to ask yourself is, did you follow your plan? And as a trader, as a day trader specifically, this process needs to be done every single day. You can print the charts or take screenshots of them anytime you want, right? But the review of that trade needs to be done within an hour of the market close. The reason I say that is because things will come up, right? We're all human. Your phone's gonna ring, you're gonna check social media, now you start watching YouTube, now you're on Netflix, now you're going out, your wife asks you for something, your girlfriend asks you for something, maybe you're taking care of your kids, and you never actually end up reviewing your trades, and you lie to yourself, you tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow something else comes up. Now you have a week's worth of trades, you still have not reviewed, and guess what happens? You're like, you know what, let me just start over again. From today, I'll start reviewing my trades, and this whole process repeats itself. So the way to avoid that is to conduct that trade review within an hour of the market close. Now, as a swing trader, you should review your trades every time your shares are sold at either your target or your stop loss. Whenever you get out of the trade, you should review that trade. Now, this process for a new trader should start the moment you take your first paper trade and continue this process, right? Either until you are super happy and satisfied with your profitability and the consistency in your trading, right? Or you're not happy with it, right? But you should have that condition that you will start resuming these activities of tracking and journaling and looking at your trades, conducting a trade review if you fail to meet your goals. Okay? So as a swing trader, you can print out the charts whenever you want, but the trade review should be conducted the moment you sell your shares at either a target or your stop loss. The moment you get out of the trade, you should start tracking. Now, for a new trader, this process should start the first time you take your first paper trade. And you continue this exercise until, let's say, you're happy with your trading's profitability and consistency. But have a condition in there that you're going to resume tracking and journaling and trade reviews if you fail to meet your goals. Now, this is what it would look like. Just simple. You have daily chart on the left. You have a 15-minute chart on the right. Now, for me, I have the daily and the 15 because daily is where my bias came for the trade, and 15-minute was the pattern that I actually traded on that chart. So for me, it's daily and 15, but maybe you took a 1-minute breakout, so then you have daily and that 1 minute. Whatever the relevant time frames. Now, if you're a swing trader, if you're a long-term trader, maybe you have the monthly and the weekly, or the weekly and the daily, or the monthly, weekly, and the daily, right? or maybe the daily and the 60-minute chart. So for swing trader, that you'll have your own time frames to review. As a day trader, you will have the time frame that you took the trade based upon. So print them out just like this, daily and 15-minute. The next step to conducting that trade review is to write the strategy that you traded from your trading plan on the top of these charts, right? And usually I still believe it's best to print the charts the old-fashioned way, like actually print them out and mark them by hand. I mean, that's what I did for the first like 3 years of my trading career, and I really think it really helped me. I don't do that anymore because, I mean, as I said, I'm happy and with my profitability and I'm content with where I'm at, but I still conduct these trade reviews on an ongoing basis. But instead of actually printing it out, I do it on like Notepad or OneNote, apps like that. But I do believe if you're a new trader, you should, at least for a few years, print them out and mark them by hand. So as you can see here, the trade that I took on this stock ARQQ was based on a 15-minute buy setup, and I wrote down the strategy right on the top, okay? The next step is mark per your trading plan the perfect entry and exit. So let's say my trading plan was to do 2R all or nothing, to sell all my shares at the 2R target or 2-to-1 target, right? So my entry is here, 21.38, right over here, with a stop at 20.28. I mean, this was based on a 15-minute buy setup, a strategy that we do teach on a daily buy setup as well. So 21.38, 20.28. The ideal entry was this. The exit should have been, as per trading plan, exited for 23.58, 2R, and it looks like it went to like 23.61 or something. So you would have got your 2R target, right? That should have been the perfect exit. Now, mark per your trade the actual entry and exit, what you actually ended up doing, right? Now, you must obviously take into account your trade management plan to properly figure out your exits, right? Maybe you're doing a 5-minute 9 EMA trail. Maybe you're doing a 5-minute bar by bar. Or maybe you're doing something else. Whatever your management is, you write down based upon that. So I wrote down my actual entry and exits here. Obviously, I got out partial, some at 22, some at 22.50, some at 23 along the way. So overall, a profitable trade, but again, nothing compared to if I just took all the shares at 23.58, right? Now, next step, determine simply if you followed your plan for that trade. So in this case, I did not technically, as an example, did not follow my plan because I should have held all of the shares for 2R, but instead I got out partially on these pops. So I did not follow my trading plan. So I marked that trade bad, right? And I want you to really understand that not every profitable trade is a good trade. And not every losing trade is a bad trade. You have to go according to your plan. So if you follow the plan, mark it good. And if you did not follow the plan, mark it bad. So in this case, you can see I marked it bad. And if you can't even come up with the strategy you traded, like you just bought the stock and you're like, I don't even know what pattern that is. I don't even know what to call it. It's kind of like a cup and handle, like a buy setup, like a pullback breakout. I mean, now you're just making shit up, right? So if you can't even come up with the entry on the strategy that you used, mark it as ugly. And you do not want to do ugly. Okay? So accumulate all of these charts of all the trades you took throughout the week, right? And again, categorize them. Put them in these columns. So for the good section, save the best 2 to 3 examples of each of your strategies, right? There's nothing better for reinforcement of what you should be doing. So save 2 to 3 great examples of the perfect trades, right? And then put them in a binder. Like I used to have these old paper binders, right? Print them out, put them in a binder, or even make them into a slideshow and put it as your desktop wallpaper. So keep seeing great examples of your great trades, right? That's the best reinforcement, okay? Now, for the bad trades, you categorize all the bad trades by the reason why they were bad. Why were they bad? Did you break your trading plan? Did you not follow your trading plan? You got out too soon. You held too late. You didn't take your stop loss. Whatever the reason might be, write down the reason why they were bad, right? And then what you have to do is when you flip through at the end of the week of all your bad trades, try to find the common theme. Try to find the common theme. So for me, for a longest period of time, when I started trading, I did this exercise of good, bad, and ugly, keeping all my trades. I had a green folder with all my winning trades. I had a red folder with all my losing trades, and I had a blue folder, right, with all the trades that I should have taken, but I hesitated on and never ended up taking them, right? But what I noticed is at the end of like 3 months of like tracking this, I flipped over the red binder of all my losing trades, and I found out the common theme. The common theme was got out too soon, sold it too early. I was a chicken. Sold it too early, got out too soon, got out too soon. And I noticed, wow, That's the theme of my trading. That's why I'm not making money. So if I just fixed that part of getting out too soon or getting out too early, I could actually be a profitable trader. That was the changing moment for me. So you have to find out the common theme between your bad trades. Create a separate document outlining everything that is needed to be done to make sure that this one bad trade concept never happens again, right? Write it down. And you put punishments in place, enforce punishment, right? If it's not eliminated. So, as an example, and Jared, I told this to Jared as well, and I think you guys might have heard it from Jared. So, when I was coaching like a lot of private students back in the day, I had this like really Catholic guy, super Catholic, like really religious guy, right? And he was like a Trump supporter all the way through, okay? And he was like pro-life and all that stuff that you hear about, right? And I told him, if you break your trading plan, as your coach, if you break your trading plan, you're gonna donate, let's say $100 every time you break your trading plan to Planned Parenthood. And he was like, I'm never gonna do that. That's crazy. I'm pro-life. This the blah blah blah. And he got really angry. I'm like, great. That's what pinches you, right? That's what you're gonna do, right? If you break your trading plan, every time you're gonna donate $100 to a cause. So if let's say you're a Republican, you're gonna donate to the Democratic Party if you break your trading plan. If you're a Democrat, you're gonna donate to Trump if you break your trading plan, right? Put punishments in place to make you not break your trading plan. Okay? Maybe you're married and hey, or you have a girlfriend and you tell your girlfriend, every time I break my trading plan, I'm not gonna get any. I'm gonna sleep on the couch. Whatever pinches you is what you gotta do, right? And again, if you have a lot of ugly trades, stop trading. I'm not joking right now, right? Jokes apart, stop trading, okay? Create a proper, real trading plan because you don't have one right now, right? Stop trading, create a real trading plan. And paper trade until you are successful and every trade is a genuine trade from your trading plan. It's a genuine concept, genuine strategy. You're not making it up, right? If you have ugly trades, you're never going to succeed as a trader. You're going to fail. I've seen people come and go, and I don't want that for you, okay? Now, the second step obviously cannot be done until the step one is done. You must verify if you're substantially following your plan. Otherwise, this step is worthless because, again, the step I'm going to give you right now, it's absolutely worthless if you don't even have a trading plan. Because if you don't have a trading plan, then, well, there's nothing to talk about. So if you don't have a trading plan and you're listening to this video, pause it, make a trading plan, right? Because without this is worthless. Now, we're going to ask ourselves the question, I am following a plan, but how do I know if the plan is a good one, right? That's not always easy to tell that because, well, as I said, good strategies stop out and sometimes bad strategies end up making money, right? So what it is, it's a matter of statistics on your trading, okay? You have to conduct statistics on your trading. You have to track the statistics on your trades, and I have multiple videos on that if you haven't seen it. I have a video called How to Create a Profitable Trading System. I think I have a How to Grow a Small Trading Account. Watch all those videos first. I go over that in detail. But you have to have statistics for your trades, okay? And don't be scared if you are not a computer wizard, you're not this tech-savvy person that you can set up like a database or these spreadsheets. Well, simply just pull out a notepad, pencil and paper, right? Calculator, and write it down and do it by hand. It's not that it's not that hard. But this is a business. You have to treat it like a business, okay? Or simply, to make it easier, just purchase a trading journal. I think Live Traders, we have a trade tracking spreadsheet as well. It's like $90 for life, right? For life. Take that, just input all your trades in there, and it'll automatically calculate all your statistics. Like, wouldn't it be nice to know, guys? Wouldn't it be nice to know from the money that you made that how much of that money was made on short plays versus long plays? How much was made on Monday versus Tuesday, right? For me, I know I'm horrible at Tuesdays. For some reason, I have no idea why, but for some reason, I'm not great on a Tuesday, right? How much money was made on pullbacks versus breakouts? Don't you want to know, are you a better pullback trader or are you a better breakout trader? Maybe you find out that, hey, I'm making money on my breakouts, but I'm actually losing on my pullback trades. Wouldn't that be good to know? Wouldn't that be helpful, right? How much money was made when you found your own ideas and own trades versus maybe you're following somebody in a chat room? Track it. Hey, I took Anmol's trades. This is what I made on Anmol's trades. This is what I made on trading Jared's trade. This is what I made on my own trade. Wouldn't it be good to know the source of that trade, right? and how much was made when you trade the first, let's say, 30 minutes of the market open versus if you take a trade after 10 a.m. Like for me, if I take a trade between 9:33 and 9:45, that's kind of my sweet spot. If I usually take a trade after 10:30, they usually are not that great. So these are all great things to know, but you're not going to know that until you start tracking. It's almost like you start a restaurant, you start a business, and you don't keep any invoices, you don't keep a collection of your receipts, you don't keep any record. Like that's no way to run a business, right? Exactly, that is no way to run a business, and trading is a business, so that is not the way to treat it. Okay? What percentage of your trades actually go and hit what was your target? Wouldn't that be good to know? All these things are good to know, and they can only happen once you start tracking. Okay? Now, I want to go over another concept, which is called the benchmark, right? The benchmark is one of the concepts I came up with a while ago. What it basically means is a super simple concept. Benchmark, what it really means is the ideal way of trading. Also, if you basically know it as if you did everything by the book and took every single trade that met your trading plan, how would you have done? At the end of each day, write down all the stocks you should have traded, where the setup meets your trading plan, right? Write down what you should have made on each trade as per your plan. And in another column, write down what you actually did, what you actually end up making. So this is what it's going to look like. And you should keep a track of this every single day. This is just an example I filled out. So let's say you have a column called benchmark, right? You write down 921. And you can literally do this on a notepad if you don't want to do it on a spreadsheet. So let's say I should have really traded Snapchat based on my trading plan, but if I traded it, I would have lost an R. I should have traded QQQ based on my trading plan. If I did trade that, it would have hit my target of 3R, right? If I traded Facebook, I would have lost an R. If I traded Apple, I would have lost an R. And if I traded Baba, I would have gained 3R. So if I did everything my plan told me to do, total, I would be up 3R for the day. But what did I actually do? I took Snapchat. I also lost an R as per my trading plan. In the Qs trade, I got out a little bit early. I got out at 2R instead of the plan making 3R. Facebook, I did not even take. The plan took it because obviously benchmark is trading everything. So benchmark lost an R, right? Then I traded Apple as well. I lost an R. Benchmark also lost an R. But on Baba, again, I got out a little bit early at 2.2R. The plan made 3R. So now the benchmark made 3R and I made 2.2R. So that means I'm 0.8R behind my benchmark. One day doesn't mean anything. You have to do this over weeks and months. So now next day comes Microsoft. The plan made 3R. I didn't even take Microsoft, so I made 0R. Ford Motors, the plan made 3R that day. I also made 3R. I held it. That was great. Apple, I lost an R. I didn't trade Apple that day, so I lost 0R. Right? Tesla, I lost an R, and the plan also lost an R. But now notice the difference. The plan ended up making 4R, and I only ended up making 2R. You see that? I only ended up making 2R. So now I'm 2R behind my benchmark. Now, some things to keep in mind. You're never going to be the benchmark, right? You're never going to operate 100% to the benchmark. It's never going to happen because you're always going to miss trades that you should have taken, right? The goal is not to be the benchmark. The goal is to aspire to be as close as you can to the benchmark. The goal is also not to beat the benchmark. The goal is to be as close as you can to the benchmark. So at the end of the week, at the end of the month, you write down, you compare these two columns, you see, hey, my plan would have made 100R if I followed it for 6 months. I only made 40R. So that does not mean that you're a bad trader, right? I want you to get what I'm trying to say. That does not mean that you're a bad trader. It actually shows that you have a trading system that makes money. If you just follow your trading system, aka benchmark, you would have made that 100R. You only made 40. You should actually be, happy with that because, well, the plan actually works. Plan makes money. You just didn't do the plan. You just didn't take those trades. So if you took those trades, that's the true potential of your trading system. So in a way, benchmark means the true potential of your trading system. I hope I'm not confusing you guys, right? The people in the chat room, you know what I'm talking about, okay? So if you operate 70% or more close to the benchmark, you will have a great successful trading career. If you operate under 50%, you will struggle as a trader, okay? And if you don't even know what your benchmark is, like what are you even doing? Are you just gambling? Is this a hobby for you? If you don't even know the true potential of your trading system, why would you follow it? Ask yourself that question. Isn't that crazy? That you're following something that you don't even know what its potential is. So the benchmark is a way to find the potential of your trading plan and for you to operate as close as you can to it. Okay? Now, last things before I end it, I want to say take your stop loss, please. It's super important because most traders have mental stop loss, which only will drive you mental, right? Because people think, they know that, hey, I should sell the stock when it does this, when it breaks out and comes down, takes out the low of the breakout level, I should exit that stock. They know that. But because sometimes the stocks might trigger, pull back, and then end up working at the end of the day, but fearing that it's going to do this, people get caught into this, right? So isn't it better to get out, take your stop loss, and if it comes back up again, you can always re-enter with a new stop loss. So get out first, reevaluate, because you can always get back in, right? But this is the biggest reason most traders fail, because they think, well, I don't want to stop out. Market makers see my stop. They're going to shake me out. And the trade's going to work. And they've had trades in the past that have traumatized them, that triggered, stopped, and then ended up working, that they end up holding that this is what's going to happen. And then you get caught into this action. And this is what ends more trading careers than anything else, not taking your stop loss. So please do not be a person who's on Jared's When Will the Insanity Stop segment. Be the difference. I want to do a positive segment. So Jared has a segment, When Will the Insanity Stop, where he talks about all the insanity he's seeing online and the emails he gets. I want to start a positive segment, right? Please help me start a positive segment. Send me some good stuff. Because I want to see, hey, when will this profitability stop? Never, right? So I want a positive segment. But again, take your stop losses is what I want to conduct. Now I'm quickly just going to show you kind of like a journal that I've been filling out for the last couple weeks. So you can see my trading journal and you can see how I collect those statistics and all of that. So let me go get my screen share up. All right, so here's a glance of, just my month of September's trading, okay? So you can see here, I can see what I made or lost, my win-loss percentage for the month of September, my loss percentage, and then you can see here which trade was win, which trade was open, which one was a win, and you can see here setups. So I tagged Swing Newsletter so I can see, hey, what do my swing trades they're making versus my day trades, right? I can keep a track of that. And I can even go over here. You can see here, I can see my reports by hourly, weekday, monthly, entry price, volume, symbols. So let's say if I want to see, by entry price, right? I click on that and it's going to load up. That I seem to be pretty good with stocks between $2 to $5. Almost $10,000 worth of profit came this month of September on stocks between $2 and $5, right? And stocks that are between 200 and 500, I actually lost a little bit of money. Not that much, but a little bit of money. So right, you're able to see that, right? You can see, hey, what weekday, okay? And now you can see, hey, Mondays I'm doing really well. Tuesdays, for some reason, I suck, right? And today is also technically, I guess, Tuesday, and guess what? Didn't work out. So it's good to know. All these things are good to know so you can tweak, you can adjust. So on Tuesdays, I'm not that aggressive anymore because for some reason, I have no idea why, but I'm just not that great on Tuesday. So guess what? I don't do that, right? And you can see here, by, let's say, hourly, okay? So now you can see I'm not that great on trades when I take around 10 o'clock, right? But I'm really good when I take a trade in the morning at 9:30, or if I take a trade around noon, I'm decent too, right? So again, these are all good statistics for you to know. So these are just some of the things you can track. And again, they will absolutely help you improve your trading because this is the kind of data that you can use to make adjustments into your trading. Hope that helps. Have a great one, everybody. And